Hey, we played some Herald of Anguish last week or the week before, and it felt pretty good. We're an Oni-Cult Anvil deck that's got a bunch of blood producers and things like Implement of Combustion and Lantern of the Lost that don't mind going to the graveyard or drawing us cards. We've got Deadly Dispute to generate treasures and sacrifice these for value, and then obviously we're a Meathook Massacre deck because it's a Meathook Massacre world and the rest of us are just living in it. So let's go ahead and pop it into some games with this and see if it can be reasonable a second time through. Scored. All right. Well, the good news is we have plenty of what ones. I think it's time for Herald to make his presence known, chat. Okay, so we can swamp. We'll do this. Improvise a solution to this board state here real quick. Good morning, Harold. Thank you for taking out the trash, Harold. Hey, you don't need... If you're hating this matchup, I'd love to bring in my extra white removal spells, trim the blood fountain. Yeah. going on, Mr. Wilson? Thanks for the 34 months. Welcome back. Huh. Double 1-mana removal spell on the draw actually feels kind of close against white aggro. You'd probably play Catch and Release with 5 lands, but I think it's closer than it would appear. I'd like an untapped land, but these spells are real good. Okay. Okay. All right, do they have a Thalia's Lieutenant to pair with their Thalia is the question now. Untapped land for some fireworks next turn. And we've died. Pretty close games in each direction so far. Super reasonable. I'll wait to Synthesizer until like turn 4, I think. So I want the best chance to be able to play whatever card we draw off of it. Tapped land pass here. Okay. It's gonna be a Beyblade situation here. Let's just let it rip. So small mistake from our opponent here. They should sack their Dauntless Bodyguard before the Meathook gets into place. That way I gain 1 less life. Hey, thanks to Contract for checking out the sponsor today, by the way. Kingdom Maker. If you're someone hanging out who enjoys my stuff and you want an easy way to support it, Kingdom Maker is free on Android and iOS. I'm also running my typical free sub promo. So if you're someone that's hanging out that isn't able to participate in chat and you'd like to be able to just check out mobile game sponsor and play till your keep is at level 2. Takes about 10-15 minutes. Hey, look, and there's the third. If you'd like to collect your free sub gifts, just drop me a direct message with a screenshot of your keep at level 2. And I'll get it hooked up for you. Beetle pushing the Skyclave since I drew another one. I feel like I am. It also feels like, does this feel like close to garbage time for anybody else? Like, it's early-ish, but, like, they have no board and I have 5 lands in play. Feels like we're done here. Maybe they have a Faithful Absence for this Herald of Anguish. If they have a Faithful Absence for Herald of Anguish, we could play a game. Okay, I have a Valorous Dance, so play continues. Oh, I forgot to play this out. Maybe I'm looting that with Blood, actually. Wonder if I was supposed to board in King Command in this matchup, because it destroys their portable holes. This play is going to be a little revolting. I'd like to apologize for it. Four Oni-Cult Anvils, Chip. To draw 3 cards here. Just keep killing. Just keep killing. Going on, Kazoo Croc. Thanks for hanging out for almost an entire year. Welcome back. And Lampton, thanks for the almost 2 years. And for the tier 3, that's super generous. Welcome back. My opponent's deck currently feels like it's going through the motions of why their deck is an aggro deck and not a control deck. We fire up Hive, they go block. They take 5 down to 2. We fire up Hive, they go block. They take 6 down to 1. I kill them with Oni-Cult, so I fire up Hive and attack here for sure. What's going on, Shadow Wolf? Thanks for the year, almost year and a half. Welcome back. Opponent. It feels like the opponent kind of overboarded on interaction a little bit, or at the very least, the way their draw ended up lining up. They ended up drawing too much of it. They were very reactive this game, which certainly favored us because our deck has way more card selection and advantage than theirs. Yeah, the opponent obviously could have blocked different to live one more draw step there, but it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, Herald's great. This is our second time playing this deck. Herald is very good in it. It's like a dominating card that takes over games against aggro, and then like discarding the hand against control is great. Deadly Dispute my Implement of Combustion angle. Yeah, you like regularly cast this card. I'm like, turns 4, 5, 6, etc. Although this sand probably not. I guess we're only one artifact off of casting it on 5. We're only one land off of casting it on 5. We already have 2 artifacts. This is a little further off of casting Herald, but I think I want to cycle this and Fatal Push the Bone Crusher. I don't want to just sit here and take a bunch of big hits. Is it too aggressive to just blind cycle this? I feel like that's where I'm at in my life. With second Meathook, I'm just gonna go ahead and spend the first tier to use my mana for the turn. Just like actually milled 3 great cards with the channel land. Sick beat. Pain and suffering. Ugh. I mean, you don't even really need to be ahead to cast it, right? You just, like, have to, like, think of Herald, like, would you play Herald as a 5-mana card? Yeah, right? That's a playable, everything about that card is playable for 5 mana. Is the best way to think about it, I think. Like, this deck's almost always gonna instantly have 2 or more artifacts, and sometimes you have way more than that and it becomes fairly cheap. We're gonna hold on to this land for the blood token down the line. Thanks for ever checked out the Kingdom Maker promo. Appreciate the support. The relationship stuff is funny. I agree. They didn't have another instant speed piece to removal. That's great. Well, not an instant piece to removal that can hit it. Yeah, chat. This card is... I don't know, chat. Is Herald of Anguish real? Looks like it to me. K commands and some Kroxas in. Lantern of the Lost out. I don't think this is a Hearst matchup. It's a go blank matchup either. Definitely want my grindier cards. Voldaren Epicure. It's kind of an individually low quality card. I think that's probably the trim. Leave 1 in. Herald is real and can hurt you. Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess Kroxa still takes the card out of their hand, right? Like, I'm not gonna hold on to this forever, so their hearse gets to clean this out for free, but it's still a 1-for-1, so this is fine. Oh, I got a K command out of them too. That's a little terrifying in a way. A little risky. If we had Herald, we're pretty sad. A lot of our deck is 2 or less though, so there's a good chance that this goes the way we want it to go. That's fine. I didn't want that spell anyways. Joke's on you. Hey, chat. Herald is here now. He is ready to do what he does best. Hey, thanks for whoever checked out the Kingdom Maker promo. Appreciate you. Whoa. Marcus. Ever playing RTS on stream? Nah, probably not. It's a little bit outside the range of the types of games I typically play. Been a long time since I played that genre of game. I played plenty of, we played Brood War and then some StarCraft 2 growing up, and we play a lot of Command and Conquer Yuri's Revenge, but it's been many a decade since I touched any of those. Yeah, no joke, BKU. Unite is kind of an RTS way. I agree with that. Yeah, MOBAs in general spawned from a Warcraft 3 custom map. Played a ton of that back in the day. So this unlicensed terse, it's pretty good. I don't buy really new video games at full price. That's just not something I do.
Deal with this annoyance.
Okay, so we get rid of this, and then we're gonna fatal push the Graveyard Glutton here. Or do I just drop another Herald now? Right? No, I'm gonna be one short. Am I? Yeah, I'm one short of dropping another Herald. Okay, that's fine. So we do this, and then we fatal push this, discard the land, and then we can fatal push. We can fatal push the 2/3 as well, and then we Herald of Anguish the following turn.
To know my secrets? Very well.
You reek with terror. Exquisite.
So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I draw an untapped land, we can Herald. Oh, they didn't make spiders? Really? That's so good for us. Oh, they didn't want Implement of Combustion to just kill her. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Deal.
We will slay our enemies.
My way.
Go on, just John.
What? My hair is on purple. Today's my lucky day.
Okay, so we're just gonna, like, destroy their board here, right?
I return to the abyss.
I guess I need to not die on the backswing, though.
Say it's over.
I like to draw a Meathook Massacre so we can buffer our life total back up a little bit.
Hey, over here.
Oof. All right, ask and you shall receive.
We're done here.
We are taking 4 from this Den of the Bugbear, is noteworthy. We're not out of the woods yet.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Kinda need to draw a cheap artifact, huh? So I can pick up Bloodtithe Harvester here and then play it out, but I can't attack Sorin because I'll die to the menace on the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So we are actually dead to a removal spell here, and they get a lot of looks at it. So it's a good chance we die here. I need to go to a game 3. They get a draw step. They get a redraw with their blood. They get a redraw with their Sorin. You need 1 or 2 mana removal spell that kills either of our creatures, pushes us to a new game.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Okay, so now I get to kill this. And this gives me a window to... What if I send this here, leaving this back on defense, and I sack the blood token to kill this before it could block? It would let them get in with this, but I'll be at 5, so I live that. It's pretty important that I kill Sorin here. Take that sorcerer card advantage away from them. What's going on, Steve? Thanks for the 3.5 years. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Yes. Okay. So Oni-Cult. Yeah. Okay. Sick. Hopefully that game was a good show for people that are wondering, hey, is Herald a card this deck really needs to go over the top of people? The answer is yes. Herald is very, very good. So, if I attack with the Herald, they get a free attack with their Den of the Bugbear for an additional point of damage and a generated 1/1. So, obviously, they still got to attack with their Hive there because I kept Herald back, but I wanted to take as least damage as possible. still put this into play. I don't really want to sacrifice my Lantern of the Lost for a 1/1 though. This deck's got a pretty decent red-black matchup. Ditching a Fatal Push here. Could be right to discard the land though too and greed a little bit. Push this one off a cliff here before it can attack. Well, that makes our decision of what we're doing this turn easier. I was going to say, I think we wait for one of these to flip over before we Meathook, so that way we can get a little bit extra value here. Herald gets to come into play. Oh, I should have sacked my 1/1, right? Missed a thing. Fatal Push is a real embarrassing Magic card into Herald of Anguish. They are out of cards in hand. You love to see it, chat. Some of these decks have like a Heartless Act in the main deck, but yeah, by and large, they're just hosed by a 7-mana 5/5. So, I'm actually going to activate my Lantern of the Lost here, because if my opponent draws exactly Kroxa, they can discard it to the Chapter 2 of the Fable and then get it into play before I can exile the graveyard. Which would be not great for us. We're gonna board just like we did. Kroxa's and K commands in. Epicures out, I think. Maybe Blood Fountained out. They have a lot of incidental graveyard hate. This is like fine into incidental graveyard hate because it still takes a card out of their hand, and like when they don't have their graveyard hate, it goes kind of crazy. But Blood Fountain is basically worthless when they have graveyard hate. It's at the Meathook world. I would really like some cheap artifacts. Really, I want to draw a 1-mana artifact next turn, so we go like second Anvil, make some 1/1s. I think I'm gonna let them generate treasures here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not supposed to let them get ahead on mana. It's close. Yeah, Epicures a 1-mana artifact.
I take no joy in the slaughter. You fight for me now.
Yeah, I think sacking the Anvil is too aggressive. They're more likely to have removal spells for Herald post board. I'd much rather take it a little slow and steady and just like get as much value as possible out of every play I make.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Yeah, it's a glory bringer, Chip. I guess this land draw means I could Meathook a glory bringer off the table next turn, right? So I got that going for us.
My ways are not for the weak.
Kiki into copied banger resistance. I mean, it like does a little bit of damage to us, but we're at 22. Like, oh no, they'll kill my 1/1s. No, please don't stop. Yeah, like they're basically dead to the Meathooks with the Anvils, right? Hey, Impromptu, thanks for the 31 months of Prime. And they shocked themselves so they could take this line too? Like, yeah, alright. You got me. So they're dead? Are they? If I sack Implement, I make 2 1/1s, they go to 5, and then 4 die, and then I sack another one? Yeah, they're dead. Alright, good chat. Good chat. Good chat. Cheerio, mate. Yeah, they see the Meathook there, so they can count it. They can count it themselves. I actually think Meathook is a pretty appropriately power-leveled card for non-rotating formats. What if our sweeper just yeeted our creatures at their face? Ain't that the truth? Hey, thanks for whoever checked out the Kingdom Maker promo. Appreciate the support. Untapped land and untapped land, untapped land. Play 2 into 2+1. Humans. I will make a note to go through the unbanned requests later. And that browser tab closed for over the weekend. Locks here. A standing desk I really like. I do not. As you probably just saw me struggle to raise this desk up because the electronics in it are a smoldering pile of trash. I currently have an uplift brain standing desk and it's like bad to the point of being annoying, but not bad to the point of I'm gonna spend $1,000 to replace it. I need to kill Kudro, right? I think I'm gonna Deadly Dispute, sack this, because if I find another blood producer, the Harvester can kill Kudro, and Fatal Push here also does it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and trade this here. Just get their board small. Specialist is pretty good. You know what else is pretty good, chat? Meathook Massacre. I'm just a meathook girl, living in a meathook world. I miss sacrificing my 1-1. Alright, if I lose this game by 1 life, it's my fault. We're too busy singing some lines there, chat. It wasn't my fault. Blame the singing. Alright, so Collected Company's gonna resolve, but I have a 5-5, then their hand's empty, so we got that going for us. Kudro's the one we're looking to fade on this Collected Company. So it lets them kill my Heralds. Werewolf pack leader is an interesting one. Oh, this is technically a human. Interesting. I didn't realize this was a human. It's a neat inclusion. Push the deck a little bit more into green, but like solid source of card advantage. It's only a human on the front. LOL. Harold, your cousin is here. His name is also Harold. Harold. We got another Collected Company out of their hands. Some extra removal for their tiny white creatures. Definitely don't want the card advantage Blood Fountain provides here. I don't need Graveyard Hate from Lantern of the Lost. This card is so good, chat. It's so good. So good. Beep, 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 doo. Doo, 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 doo. Sand's pretty good. Well, that's rude. Just got a Harvester plus tapped lands here. I think it's worth paying 2 to get the Implement into play sooner. A chump block here to gain 4, I think. That is not where I wanted that card to be, chat. I think we're dead. I'll do big. I'll take game 3 on the play, thanks. Dahlia. Dahlia on the play is pretty good at slowing us down enough. Okay, let the artifacts hit the board. Let the artifacts hit the board. Let this happen. We plan to trade this here. Or Implement of Combustion into something else and see what we get. Ooh, piece of candy. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I want to say Fatal Push to deal with a 3-drop, I think. Hey, Fixer Shish, thanks for the almost 3 years. Welcome back. this. And this is a spot where people are talking about how quickly do you cast this card. This is a turn 3 Herald, right? Sorry, turn 4 Herald, I mean. Close enough. 5/5 into play, start chewing through their hand. So they can use Kudro to deal with one of these heralds, but they're gonna chew through their hand first. I could play the synthesizer out here and then still cast Herald, but if the synthesizer hits anything other than a land, I wouldn't be able to play the spell that it hits and play the Herald. So I really just want to get the Herald into play and still get value out of this later, so I'm waiting to play it. Yeah, Skyclave these ones. Just start attacking, huh? And it's like, even if they deal with this other Herald, right? Like, they've got, each of these Heralds have taken, like, 2 cards out of their hand. They, like, play a human, sack the human, and the general deal with the Herald. They're still just, like, infinitely behind. Looks like third collecting company here. It's the classic cast Coco concede moment. Oh yeah, that is true, isn't it? We can technically sack artifacts to shrink Herald in response to Kudra. That's funny, that's a good call. Oh, I guess if I keep the blood, I could have Bloodtithe the general, huh? It's probably better. It doesn't matter, all the runes are gonna lead to Rome here, but my turns definitely could have been cleaner here. Yeah, it's not great 1778ers. And the back of Herald, we have made it to Mythic. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Mythic gamers. We're Mythic, chat, just like Herald is thick. Is double Meathook Fatal Push good against Wellspring? Probably not, right? This is usually a Niv deck. I guess it could be Cat Oven. But if they're a Niv deck, that hand's quite bad. Which one is Oberfell, BTY? This is cat oven. Okay. Same-sex marriage. Okay. Are they mono red? Or red black maybe, or just awkward mana? So we'll play the Epicure here. We'll Bloodtithe Harvester target the Mayhem Devil. Their Mayhem Devil trigger will target our Epicure. We'll Deadly Dispute the Epicure in response. And then this sets us up for a turn 4 Herald next turn with 2 blood tokens and a treasure. Yeah, but I posted something on Twitter, but like, the big thing that people need to understand, even if you're someone that completely lacks empathy for women and you think overturning Roe v. Wade is not a big deal, overturning Roe v. Wade will not be the last major thing that this court tears down that's a freedom or a norm or whatever you want to call them. Justice Thomas wrote in his whatever they call it that they should reconsider not only the rulings on same-sex marriage, but also the rulings that make things like contraceptives legal. Because this incredibly biased, extremely conservative court won't be happy until they inject themselves into every facet of people's lives, including their bedrooms. This is the reading Herald of Anguish pause, chat. Fully chat, Herald is not my firstborn. $5 towards Jeff's Supreme Court bid. Well, to be fair, I probably would be more qualified and impartial than Kavanaugh. The number of concessions to Herald of Anguish has been truly fantastic. It's a low bar. That's a low bar. A truly and completely a low bar. So definitely K command in. I don't have any extra ways to kill Mayhem Devil, but that's probably fine, right? We have 4 Fatal Pushes and a Voltage Surge in the main deck, plus these meat hooks. I don't think, is Hearse good enough here? I guess Hearse can catch Cat on occasion, but it also just doesn't attack through Cat, which seems not great. I'm just gonna board in the K commands and click submit. Oh, chat, some of you wouldn't keep this hand. You'd be cowards. I'm gonna choose to block warriors this morning. Hearse can catch a Kroxa. Okay, if we see Kroxa, I'll board Hearse in. I think that's a good shot. I don't know that I expect Kroxa out of their archetype. You're right, I would keep it. I know you, Twitch chat. I know you. Heyo, thanks to whoever just got their keep to level 2 there. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. An easy way to support my content and earn yourself a free sub to the channel in the process. Check out Kingdom Maker. We're going to be playing that for a little bit, a few times today on stream. We're going to play a Magic deck, we're going to play some Kingdom Maker, we're going to play a Magic deck, we're going to play some Kingdom Maker, we're going to play some Marvel Snap, we're going to play some Kingdom Maker. It's idle town building game, so doing it a little bit here and there is better than all in one chunk. We already played our land for the turn, so I think I'm just hitting pass. Hopefully they play Mayhem double next turn, and we can sack the blood token to Fatal Push it. Turn the Voltage Surge into a new card, I think, here. See what we get. A Synthesizer, hoping for a land here. House with all of our bricks. This is the last hurrah, Zoe. If literally overturning Roe v. Wade isn't the thing that finally pushes voter turnout, nothing ever will. This is it. This is the big one. This election cycle matters more than most because this was the thing, right? This is like this is going to happen has been being said for decades now, and it's finally here. It's happened. Sweet altar art. Am I supposed to be drawing a card with this or not? More artifacts is better for Herald, but I really want to hit land drops too. Yeah, it's tough not to be a doomer, Mike. Like, for sure. I feel you. It's been a heck of a decade. I think we're probably too far behind to keep up with Daddy Nicholas here. Let's go ahead and go to the next one.
And you lose everything.
Don't really have anything to change here. Hand just didn't pan out. He did land drop number 3 there. We kept a little bit of a speculative hand, but we had a lot of redraws, so. Fatal Push is good enough for this matchup to keep this hand. I guess I got a couple of spell lands though too. I could go either way. I could see Vola getting this hand looking for something stronger. It took an hour, chat, but the camera finally auto-focused onto Rowlet instead of me again. Damn it, camera, I'm up here. Attacking doesn't do anything because they have a cat in an oven. They also don't have a second land, though, so maybe it's their turn to fumble around and die. Maybe get a Pokemon buddy that looks less like you, dude. We're just like, anything that generates an artifact next turn, so that way we can tee up turn 5 Herald. I do not have an alliance together for Kingdom Maker yet. If you're going to be poking at it, want to make a Hoaglandia one. I'm sure there'll be others poking as well. They baked my vampire into pie, chat. What do you think vampire pie tastes like? It's got to be, like, not great, right? That's blood, but egg. Okay. How about another land, chat? Do we think another land helps me cast Herald of Anguish next turn? We can cycle the Abandoned Mire here at least to pick the Bloodtithe Harvester back up. We got that going for us. The problem is this cat is just like draining us for 2 every turn, so if we don't find a Meathook soon, we're probably just into that. And Cat Oven would exist if Witch's Oven costs 1? No, not at all. I think Cat Oven would probably still exist if Cat couldn't block or if it came back into play tapped. So I would really like to see either of those changes happen inside of Historic. You know, that format where they can rebalance cards technically, even if they don't. Waiting almost 3 weeks for Marvel Snap to rebalance Nova Carnage has felt like a little bit of a drag, but in the grand scheme of things, I've been waiting almost 3 years for them to rebalance Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven, so it's really not that big of a deal, I've concluded. You know, my baseline is pretty low. All right, we've got some artifacts. So, no joke, we're actually gonna start with the Agatha deck again today because I was playing it more off stream just for laughs, and I actually haven't been losing with it. I'm up like 30 cubes with it. 30 or 40 cubes over the yesterday's stream and last night. I think the deck is actually pretty good. It's kind of like a magic. That's kind of a good comparison, right? It just gives you a bonus card. Like, has this weird deck building restriction. Am I in Marvel's stamped version? Like, I'm not, because their format's not great. It doesn't have great balance at the moment. Most of the people that are hitting that rank are all spamming the same busted deck. And I just haven't been playing it because I don't find it very interesting. Oh, I knew I should have sacrificed my Bloodtithe Harvester to the Deadly Dispute. I almost did. I'm surprised they left so many Claim the Firstborns in against me after they died to Herald of Anguish in game 1. Hey, we just get burned out at this point, right? Our deck just took too long to get going there. Better mulligans or variants in those last two games probably leads us to victory. I think this deck's super good. If you're looking for a little bit of a different take on the sack archetype specifically, if you like the idea of sack decks and you hate the tedium of clicking through Cat Oven, I think this deck is super reasonable and competitive. I also don't think it's just worse than Cat Oven. I think it's doing something a little bit different. Getting to play this card as a payoff is genuinely good in a lot of spots in this format and definitely feels strong. All right, chat. Do you know what else